There are people in Japan who earn less than you, but somehow save 3 times more money than you do. Same kind of paycheck, same grocery prices, same rent, same bills. And yet, at the end of the month, they still have money sitting in the bank, and your account is empty. Why? You're thinking they must earn more. Nope. In a lot of cases, they actually earn less. This whole difference is hidden inside one simple notebook from 1904, a notebook that a Japanese woman created. And the people who know this notebook's secret can set aside 35% of their income every single month, even on a low salary. You can't. And for a long time, I couldn't either. So what do they know that nobody ever told you? And why does the average American save just 4% of their income, while salaried workers in Japan save many times more? You're the kind of person who goes to work every day, pays every bill on time, and never does anything crazy. You don't buy fancy cars. You don't fly off to Dubai on vacation. And still, before the 20th of the month even arrives, your account is almost at zero. You open your phone, you check the balance, and you ask yourself one single question: where did the money go? I know that feeling. It's not just a money problem, it's a quiet kind of shame. Because everyone tells you if you want to save more, earn more, pick up another job, work even harder. But here's the one thing nobody tells you. Your paycheck is like a bucket. Earning more just means pouring water into that bucket faster. But if there are holes in the bottom of the bucket, no matter how much water you pour in, it all leaks right out. The Japanese don't worry about pouring more water. They plug the holes first. And the method they use to find those holes has a name. But before I tell you what it is, you need to meet the woman who started it all. Her name was Hani Motoko, Japan's first female journalist. Back in 1904, she created a simple method for everyday housewives. She called it Kakeibo. Kakeibo literally means the household finance ledger. No app, no complicated software, just a pen and a piece of paper. Now you're thinking, writing things down on paper is old news. What's new about that? I thought the same thing at first, but the science here honestly surprised me. Researchers found something they call mental accounting. In plain words, our brain splits money into separate envelopes. One envelope for food, one for rent, one for dreams. These envelopes work like a wall inside your head. When your rent money and your fun money sit in the same place, your mind can't tell them apart, so your fun money quietly eats up your rent money. Separate envelopes put that wall back up. When all your money is blended together in one banking app, your brain can't separate the envelopes anymore. It all becomes one big pile. And that's exactly when money slips out through the holes in the bucket and you don't even notice. 100 years ago, Hani Motoko separated those envelopes again, by hand. But this isn't just some old Japanese habit. Look at the numbers. The economist Charles Horioka has studied how Japanese families save. His data shows that salaried workers in Japan once saved up to nearly 37% of their income. During that same time, Americans saved only a few percent. Same world, same era of rising prices, and still such a huge gap. So what kind of magic is there in a paper notebook that can make an entire country different? This is where the real enemy shows up. The biggest enemy of your savings is not your low salary. The enemy is how easy spending has become today. Just think about it. One click on Amazon and the purchase is done. One tap on your phone and the coffee is bought. A DoorDash order on a Friday night and the food is at your door. You're not counting any money. You're not holding any paper bills in your hand. you're not feeling anything at all. Studies show that when we pay with a card or a phone, the part of the brain that feels pain stays quiet. Yes, pain. Spending money actually creates a small, real ache in your brain. A credit card wipes that ache away, and spending without pain just means the holes in your bucket keep getting bigger. This is the whole industry that's working against you. Credit card companies, one-click buttons, the entire advertising world. Their business only works when you spend without thinking. Nobody wants you to stop. Nobody wants you to feel it. And these holes don't get big in a single day. They grow slowly, quietly. Picture this. On Monday morning, you buy a latte, $6. You think, this is no big deal. Then there's a subscription you completely forgot you even had. Then on Friday night, tired and worn out, you place an order on your phone. Tap, tap, done. You didn't hold a single dollar in your hand. No paper bill left your wallet. A number on the screen just got a little smaller. At the end of the month, you stare in shock. You have no idea where $300 went. Now multiply that 1 month by 10 years. That tiny hole is now a giant crater. A car, an emergency fund, a peaceful night's sleep, all of it lost in that crater. You weren't lazy, you just never saw the hole. This is exactly where Kakeibo hits. How? That's what I'm about to tell you. So the secret is pretty clear, right? Grab a notebook, write down every expense by hand. That's it, you're done. We could just end the video right here. But no, if you stop here, you'll miss the real point. Because Kakeibo is not just about writing down expenses. Hani Motoko built in one rule that matters even more in today's world. And this rule is what actually plugs the hole. Once you hear it, you'll never shop the same way again. At the start of each month, Kakeibo makes you ask a question, not one, but 4 in a row. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much do you want to save? That sounds backwards, doesn't it? We all do it the other way around. We spend first and we save whatever is left at the end of the month. And nothing is ever left. Kakeibo says, pay yourself first. On the day you get paid, move 35% aside before anything else, into a separate envelope, into a separate account, out of sight. Then run the whole month on what's left. 3. What are you really spending on? And 4. How can you do better? These 4 parts then go into 4 smaller envelopes: survival costs, wants, culture and learning, and unexpected costs. Every time you buy something, you have to write down by hand which envelope the money is coming from. And that act of writing is what plugs the hole. Because writing by hand means stopping. Stopping means feeling. That small ache comes back, and when the ache comes back, you think twice about that $6 latte. To bring that ache back, the Japanese do a few more things that sound simple but really work. 1. They often keep cash in separate envelopes. Watching real money shrink actually hurts. An empty envelope feels far more real than a smaller number on a screen. 2. When they want to buy something, they wait 30 days. There's no rule that says you have to buy it today just because you want it today. After 30 days, you'll forget about half the things anyway. 3. At the end of the month, they quietly open the notebook for 5 minutes. The Japanese call this hansei, which means stopping to look at yourself. No blaming, just looking at where the hole was this month. There's a piece of science here that a lot of us get wrong. We think it's all about honest willpower. Researchers say habits are built not through willpower, but through doing the same thing in the same place over and over. So writing by hand isn't just bookkeeping. It's a small habit that slowly rewires your brain. This idea of mental accounting comes from the work of economist Richard Thaler. He showed that when people keep the same money in different envelopes, they use it differently. Japanese housewives knew this theory 100 years ago without even knowing its name. This is where the whole game flips. Your whole life, you thought getting rich meant earning more. Wrong. Getting rich means widening the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is your wealth, not the salary, the gap. A person can earn a lot each month and still stay poor if the holes in their bucket are big. And another person can earn less and still be calm, safe, and free if their gap is big. The Japanese treat this gap almost like something sacred. They call it quiet wealth. Not loud wealth, but quiet security. And to be honest, there's a dark side to this too. Counting every dollar can sometimes make life feel joyless, and nobody can say for sure whether giving up today's small joys to buy tomorrow's security is always the right call. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure it's going to be exactly 35% for everyone. Some people have higher rent, some live in expensive cities. Maybe you'll start with 10%, but the real number isn't 35. The real thing is that you're learning to feel your spending again. Right now, you might be telling yourself, well, they live in Japan, life is cheap over there, and their culture is just different. And honestly, that's not completely wrong. Rents in Tokyo isn't cheap, and their salaries aren't sky high either. But here's the real point. The Japanese don't save more because they have more money. They save because they can see the whole. This one habit works across any country, any language, and any salary. The person in Japan living peacefully on a low salary and the person in America earning good money but drowning every month, the difference between them isn't just the amount of money. The difference is that one of them guards their gap and the other one doesn't. Now, think back to that bucket. All this time, you thought your problem was that not enough water was going into the bucket, so you tried to pour water in even harder. More work, more effort, more exhaustion. But your bucket wasn't leaking because you were lazy. Nobody ever showed you the holes. Now you can see them. That mindless tap, that one-click order, that numb spending. Plugging the holes doesn't take a bigger salary. It just takes a pen and the courage to pause for half a minute every day. So, if you think this is easy, no, it's not actually easy, just different. The first few weeks will feel uncomfortable because you'll be feeling the ache again. But one day, you'll become the person who looks at their account at the end of the month and isn't afraid anymore. 100 years ago, Hani Motoko put this knowledge right into the hands of ordinary people. Nobody hid it from you, it's just that nobody ever handed it to you. And imagine how that day will feel. The last night of the month, your head hits the pillow and you know there's money in your account. Even if you lose your job this time, you can stand on your own feet for a few months. This calm feeling is exactly what the Japanese were talking about. It's not about buying something big with money. It's about buying yourself one good night's sleep. And this peace doesn't wait for a big paycheck. It starts the very next time you pause for 1 second before you buy something. Now you know. And knowing means you're already ahead of 90% of people. Now tell me something honest. What's the biggest hole in your bucket? Coffee, food delivery, or that one-click button online? Drop a comment below and tell me which expense you're going to start writing down on paper starting today. And here's one more question that I know people are going to argue about. This whole saving 35% thing, can anyone actually do it with just a little discipline? Or is it only for people whose cost of living is already low and for everyone else it's just a nice story? Tell me your answer down below. I read every single comment. I'm Ryan, this has been Ryan Findings, and from now on, every time you go to buy something, you'll think about that bucket.